whilst we're setting this up, I'm just, let me see. I'm going to attempt to share my screen and show you exactly how the app is looking. I'm using an iPhone, so the Xero app will be a little bit different in the way it looks depending on what sort of phone you have. So on the iPhone, it will have a slightly, maybe visually, it will be a little bit different to the Android one. But overall, it should be, the options are pretty much the same. I'll see if I can share my screen now. Bear with me 2 seconds. And connect my, I can see my phone here. Okay, let me just share my screen. Are we seeing that? Are we seeing my lovely children behind the apps? Hopefully we can. Right, so the first thing to do would be to basically download the Xero app, just like any other app. You would download it from the App Store. On the iPhone, looks a bit like that. I might actually just quickly log out, so you see what, this is what you see at the very beginning. You log in with all your normal login credentials. It will be the same credentials as when you log in on the desktop. And the first thing you would see is pretty much like an overall, you know, like the dashboard that you would see in the computer version. However, obviously, it's not going to be as advanced as the computer version. So we've got the business accounts, we've got sales and purchases, and at the bottom you can see you've got the sales and purchases options and the contacts if you wanted to use those. I find that you can, the most useful things to do would be the bank reconciliation. So if you click on the bank, you can go through, it takes you through all the transactions. You scroll to the bottom or to the top to look at, it will show you the most recent transaction first, date-wise. And then obviously if you, Daniel was talking about creating the rules, the bank rules. If you have quite a lot of bank rules set up, it's very handy, because then on the app, those rules will come up, and then you can literally, you can match the transactions on the go, or you can obviously create a transaction if you know what the spending or receipt was for. So you can create it here, and it's quite useful, you know, if you do have time, you find yourself, I don't know, traveling somewhere and you think, oh, I'm going to have a look at what my bank is looking like. You can do it on the go. There's Xero will also suggest certain postings. So this is an example where we've paid £15 to the bank for a bank fee, and Xero is suggesting that's where you should be posting it. And you can, all you can do is click OK if you're happy with that transaction. So all you do is click OK, and it disappears. That's another one for 7-Eleven. Again, we've got a rule created. If you're happy with that, click OK, disappears. It's as simple as it is. So that will be just simple transactions on the bank. We can also, if you would like to do that, some smaller businesses might take advantage of that. You can create your sales invoice on the go, or you can also allocate the bank receipt. If you know that an invoice has been paid, you can create a new one by simply just hitting the little plus icon at the top, the little plus, and then we've got an option to create a quote or create an invoice. We can create an invoice. It's fairly user-friendly. You can just literally input the either contact details that you already have, or you can create a new one. So let's say I'm going to create an invoice to myself. there we go. I'm going to, this business going to invoice me today. Due today, invoice is automatically picked up, invoice number. You can put description or enter a product if you already have a product set up. We'll just do it as Xero presentation. And let's say I'm going to be charged £100 for the play. Oh, 1,000, maybe just 100. And done. You can also, with the phone, it's quite easy to attach a file to any kind of transaction that you're posting. So we've got that attach file option, and we just tap on that. We can take a photo of something that's quite useful for receipts that we've got, and I'll show you in a second. But you can take a photo, you can choose a photo from your gallery. I'm going to choose a lovely picture of Daniel from the latest XeroCon that we've attended, and we had a great time. I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to go, and you can just save it. You can then send it to your customer, or you can just simply save it and send it later on. If you want to send it, you hit send and it will automatically prepare the invoice for you. That's how the email would look like. And you can click just send, and here it is. And that's as easy as it is. It's very handy on the go. We can also, if we've got sales invoices already prepared, it will show us. In this case, we've got 2 draft ones, we've got some unpaid ones. Let's say somebody is going to pay us. We can simply just search, we can type in, let's say, there we go, there's my invoice there. This lady hasn't paid us, but if I did, I would just simply click on add payment. Paid into which account? Again, you can choose whichever one, whether it's a business bank account, or you can also, if you received it personally, you can click on owners, funds introduced, or drawings, usually the drawings account. So that would take you to, that wouldn't necessarily go through the bank account, but through the your personal director's loan account or drawings account. And that's it. That's as simple as that is. If we just quickly look on the purchases, I find that a lot of people find it quite easy to use as well, especially if you're on the go, you're paying for something with the debit card, let's say, and you've got a receipt, a small receipt. You can simply, just in case you want to make sure that you don't lose the receipt, so instead of just stashing it in your wallet, you can simply just pull out the Xero app, go to purchases, click the little plus button, add receipt, and you input some information. So where do you spend it? Let's say, we'll say 7-Eleven. We don't have to shop, doesn't matter. What was it for? Let's say it was food spent today. How did you pay? You can choose your business bank account, categorize to an account, which would be, let's see, it's just travel and subsistence, and input your, let's say, £20, and we'll also attach, and that's where it's quite handy. You can take a photo and literally take a photo of your receipt. I haven't got anything to take about, say, my keyboard. Take a photo of it, use the photo, it will automatically get attached, and you can just add it, done and dusted. It doesn't take long. It's very handy to just have it there. Then you can reconcile it later on when you go to your bank reconciliation screen, again within the app, or possibly on the desktop if you find that more useful. You've got the contacts information here as well if you wanted to add any contacts, but you can always add contacts on the go as you're creating transactions, so it's not necessarily to set them up directly, but these are just the basic options. Oh, I can see a quick message here about the Xero app. How do you add the bank payments as overpayment to supplier account as direct debit taken? but invoice not yet processed. Let me see. Bank payment is overpayment to supplier. Can we do that? So let's see. Oh, what would we do? I don't know whether it's actually that clever, the app itself. If we can just add bill that would create a purchase invoice and or add receipt, which would be a direct bank expense. I'm not quite sure if we would be, oh, actually, if we go to the dashboard, if receipt overpayment, so let's say to create, if we were to create new, I don't think, unless Daniel and Natalie know, I don't think we can do that on the app. It would probably, overpayments will probably have to be done on the computer when you log into the web version. I don't think we could create an overpayment.
We can certainly look into it and then get back to you, Sarah.
Yes, because I don't think credit card. Just trying to think if we, because overpayment basically is a payment on account to a supplier if we haven't got an invoice to match yet, or if we want to allocate it later, which, and the posting that you create would basically be a posting to your creditor's ledger account. And I don't think necessarily the app gives you that option, but we'll definitely look into it and see if that's something that we could do. Like I said, it's quite handy when you've got sort of like the basic transactions to process the sales, and the and adding bills, and especially yes, the little receipts on the go. That's quite handy. There are some other apps that are quite good, that connect to Xero, that help you with processing your receipts, and mainly when it comes to purchases, they're quite good. There is already HubDoc that's already incorporated within Xero. You might have had a look at it. It's free. It's usually included with most of the subscriptions. And that's quite good for snapping your receipts as well and processing them later. I don't think we can actually demonstrate it today, but maybe we'll come up with another session where we talk more about all the different apps that connect to Xero, because that's a big market for that as well. But I hope you like this little presentation. If you have any more questions, we will try to answer that, or you can always drop us an email at the Xero support email address. I think Natalie shared it earlier in the chat box, and yeah, we're here to help. Any little queries. The joy of Xero is that we can always log in and have a quick browse at your data and actually tell you exactly what to do. So the access is great. So yeah, I think I'm going to hand you over to Daniel.